Welcome back. It's time for us to go into further conversations within our communities. And speaking of communities, there has been some kind of attempts, to bring alternative mining solutions to different communities. The particular one that comes to mind is the Community Mining Initiative. And of course, right here on Breakfast Daily, George Mirkuduka, the Deputy Lands Minister, and was here to speak to us about those. Now, it seems as if there's been some kind of admission to failure of these initiatives. Let's take a look at this report. We'll come back and we'll get into some further conversations.
Illegal mining is still on the rise in many mining communities in Ghana, despite numerous enforcement efforts by government. Many water bodies, forest reserves, cocoa and oil palm plantations, among others, have been destroyed due to the increasing rates of illegal mining activities. The government's introduction of alternative mining initiatives has not done enough to discourage the menace of illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey. The Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, George Mirkuduka, says the government is coming up with strategies to regularize mining in various mining areas through environmentally friendly approaches.
Whatever you do, it's been century, more than even a century, that people have been running around trying to get gold nuggets, and you cannot stop them. Government upon government have tried on countless occasions just to get them in a way mine responsibly, but it's not working. So because possibly what we term as alternative is not serving the alternative that we think of, that somebody's earning like 200 Ghana cedis a day, and you tell him to go and learn any kind of or sewing, get a sewing machine or something. That person will not see it as a measurable or something that will commensurate what he had earlier. So we said, then let's get something that will meet up the expectation at least, and that will also be considered as responsible. So we brought in this community mining concept. But as I said earlier in my speech, the large-scale concessionaires are only able to employ about 30,000 Ghanaians, whereas this small-scale mining is getting about 1 million Ghanaians directly employed. And you cannot in a way underrate such a situation. Look at the unemployment situation that we have in the country. You cannot convince me that I should ban small-scale mining and rather encourage large-scale mining, which are for foreigners. I wouldn't agree. What is important is for us to regularize the sector.
He made this statement at Atronsu in the Western North region, where he launched a community mining initiative. The chief of Atronsu, who is also the Kwamuhine of Seshibekwai Traditional Council, wants the government to ensure its community mining initiatives being introduced do not end up destroying water bodies. Reacting to this, Mr. George Mirkuduka assured that government is putting adequate measures in place to ensure responsible mining in all community mining areas. He also outlined new strategies being introduced as part of plans to intensify enforcement efforts in the fight against galamsey.
Procured speedboats that will be running along Pra and Cobra, Tano, Offing, and all other river bodies that we have. We have the Operation Hall 2 that will also continuously patrol. We have other measures that we're putting in place, even with the use of helicopters and other things that I will not be able to disclose. We critically serious about this menace. We should stop, in a way, painting a picture that the one promoting responsible mining is doing galamsey. I've been tagged as a galamseyer. My constituents know that I don't involve myself in mining. I don't even know basically practically how they mine and all that. But I represent them. I represent mining. I understand it. I've studied it and I understand it. I know the benefits that we'll get as a nation. So I will always root for it. But so I don't care whatever tax that they give me. That is how we do our politics in Ghana. Let's bring him down. If we see somebody who is hardworking, let's find ways to in a way suppress him. I don't even see my family, my children, trying to make sure that we work hard to get things done in this country, for the teeming youth to get something doing. Look at the excitement around them.
It's obvious that government and all relevant stakeholders will have to do more with respect to how we're handling the mineral resources in the country. For Citi News, I'm Edward Upon Marfo at Tronsu.
All right, so that's our colleague there, Edward Opomafo. He's our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, and he brought us that update. Now, we're going to speak to Daryl Bosu of the Arucha Ghana. Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning to you as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep you for too long. So, just very quickly, there was something that the Deputy Minister said that I find problematic. And I want your perspective on it. He says that basically, and I'm paraphrasing, that illegal mining has been with us forever. Several governments have attempted to stop it and haven't been able to. And so, as far as he's concerned, as much as we're giving concessions to foreigners to come and mine, we should allow, our own people to also mine. However, figure out ways of managing it so that they do it responsibly. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that is a very interesting statement coming from the Deputy Minister. I don't want to believe he is justifying the illegal activities in the mining sector in the bad. So I think it's very disturbing in a way he is saying that we should tolerate illegalities within the sector while taking action to also make it sustainable. And that, for me, should not be the narrative and the direction that we should go. I think also we know that, mining, yes, people have said, and they also say, and a lot of research has indicated it creates jobs, but we also need to understand that the same mining sector also displaces a lot of other jobs. It displaces farmers, it displaces other sustainable land use forms and all of that. So to say that we should be giving jobs to our youth using mining, for me, it's just admitting that you have limited options. You are not also able to open up your doors to look at other green alternatives that are there, and you think that mining is the way to go. So for me, I think that it is very unfortunate for him to be saying that. I would have expected that he would have indicated that government will do whatever it takes. And I don't think we should go back and be saying that mining has been with us for a long time. Mining has been with us for a long time, but illegal mining should not continue to be a big problem in this country. If our law enforcement mechanisms and systems are in place to ensure that compliance to mining regulations and protocols are followed to the letter. And when you hear a leader who is leading the fight against the unprecedented, then in a sense he is actually justifying some of these illegalities that we are, so which is for me very unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I find that it's almost like saying that the armed robber needs to eat. Everybody's got to eat. So the armed robber is doing something illegal, but listen, let's put a human face to it because he needs to eat after all. And so we have to decide as a nation what it is that we want, really, because in essence, to me it seems like time is running out. And I don't know from your work that you're doing, how close are we, or how dire is the situation as far as water resources are concerned, as far as the earth cover that we are depleting is concerned. What are your thoughts in a minute?
What I will say is that if you really look at the political portrait around that space, I would say that it's not comprehensive. Government is not really the political, indicating that they want to get rid of illegal mining. But that is in the large scale mining sector, small scale or medium scale, government has demonstrated that they want to. Everything they've been doing so far for me is just smart PR. They are doing a lot of PR, and that helping them relate to the West. They are doing a lot. If you look at what the government said in the recent just ended COP27, big development pathways and all of that. And the very next day, you saw the deputy minister also going around the country launching new community mining schemes.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, these are still going to have impact on water resources because mining needs water to be able to work well. In the case of the community mining that is being done.
Yeah.
So you cannot say that you really want to get rid of this address. You are also saying that we need to give the people an alternative to live to mining. It does not go hand in hand and it cannot work that way. So for me, I think I lack political will and they want us to just get comfortable with it and see it as another form of, which for me is really derailing every effort we have taken right from 2018 up to now. All
right. Daryl, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We've been speaking with Daryl Bosu of Arucha Ghana. Of course, Arucha is an environmental organization, an international environmental organization, and they're based here in Ghana as well, and have very important work that they do to help, stem the tide of where it is that we seem to be going. It's a very difficult situation we find ourselves in because, when our Deputy Minister came over here, he seemed very genuinely interested in dealing with the problem. But hearing him now and seeing his posturing, I'm beginning to wonder if he was ever even serious about, Galamsey ending, because he's now justifying and saying that something that we have declared illegal, and there's nothing that we've made no moves to say we are going to legalize any of it, right? And it's only getting worse because with the advent of excavators in the mix and everything, even before excavators, it was illegal, So the advent of excavators where the lands are being destroyed and making unfarmable. We also have the depletion of the forest lands, cocoa farms, and all of that happening. That's one side. And then the destruction of our water bodies and putting us in a precarious situation with the water crisis looming. All of this is going on. And he's saying that we have to, temper the issue and, allow them because they still got to eat. And I'm like, you're not serious. You are not serious. Because if you were, an illegality is an illegality. Unless we are saying it's no longer illegal, then let's take it off our books and stop just playing childish games. Because it's childishness. You say it's illegal and yet you are saying put a human face to it. What's wrong with you? As a nation, what is wrong? Our leaders, those of you who are in charge of things, what is wrong with all of you? If it's illegal, and we deal with it as such. But if it's not illegal, then let's take it off the books and let's stop pretending. So that when you don't like somebody, you now wave the flag and say, this is illegal. Then when you don't have a problem with the person, then now and then you are playing all kinds of games with it and say, let's look at it, let's be a little cautious, let's stop there. This is childishness. We are too old for this. 65 years old, we are behaving like infants. Let's take a quick break. Breakfast Daily has more that's coming up. Don't go anywhere.